It's the next evening from the end of the last video where I realised my starter motor was completely wrong and I have no idea where the correct one went or any of the others, because there should be 4 or 5 correct starter motors here. Nope, none. And my plan was, screw it, I will go to Euro Car Parts today, as in the next day, get a new starter because they got everything in stock as always, and a starter is pretty common. Job done. Euros didn't have any, not a single one of the local Euros, so 4 or 5 different ones, had any of the various brands of 180 6-speed starter motor in stock, which is very unusual for them. Thankfully though, GSF car parts, which I hardly ever use compared to Euros because they've never usually got as much, but hey, they're a backup, and they had some in stock. It's a non-surcharge one as well, so this is obviously brand new, made by Y, which sounds super Chinese, but it says Y, a US company, written on the back. So they're probably still made in China, but it's an American company. Probably a Chinese man based in America. I don't know, or care, to be fair, because it's brand new. It's GFS class this is their own brand. It's clearly not their own brand, but it's like some brand that maybe only they sell in the UK. I don't know. But I haven't even opened it yet. I hope this is the right one. Less than 100 quid. Looks all right. Definitely brand new. Not a recon. Looks really nice, to be honest. I mean, it's probably a lot better than a typical second-hand one. Well, about 10 minutes later, and I've done the new starter motor. Actually, very easy. It's funny because it's one of the harder things to access on the car, but it's still very easy. It's just there. I find it even faster to refit than I did to remove it. This time that was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like the one bolt, the top one, is you're doing it blind. You can see it from the top, but there's no point when you can just do it blind. You just need some extensions and stuff, and it's easy. Right, I suppose it's now time to see if this starter motor is actually the correct one, and see if there's any other problems that happens. So right, it's in neutral. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Power is on. Let's see if it spins over. I heard a funny bang then. But... not sure about that. Nope. Well, that's good news. The engine spins over. The question is now, well, let's see if any oil's come out anywhere. Nope, no leaks, but there's no oil pressure shown on the gauge yet because I've only spun it over for a few seconds and it's a brand new fresh engine. So yeah, the question is now, do I put plugs in it and turn it, or do I just carry on spinning it over until it shows oil pressure with the starter? Is the starter enough to make oil pressure? Yeah, thinking about it, there's no spark plugs in it, so I'm just gonna crank it over a bit more and see if it builds pressure. It should do, because you know, only cranked it for a few seconds a minute ago, and it take more than that for a fresh engine. So let's go. Oh fuck! 80 psi of oil pressure on starter motor alone on a fresh engine. Mint. Chuffed with that. Fucking very happy with that. I better check the turbo oil feed is getting, you know, oil, and if that's the case and it's not pissing out all over the floor, then we're good to start. Apart from that, I'm chuffed with that, because that's one of my biggest worries. Nothing leaking that I can see, nothing on the floor. And to be fair, 80 psi oil pressure would definitely make things spray out if there was a bad leak. Right, so all that's left for me to do is try and make the car start, which means a base map. I'm not a mapper. I've got a fair idea of how to map, as in, well, I've talked about this before. Software wise, fucking no idea. Well, I say that, but I did my Impreza back in the day with calibration ECU, anti-lag, launch control, rotational idle. The thing was fucking mint, and I did that although it already had a base map. I just went from there. I've never made a base map before, but I've got a fair idea of, you know, settings. I'm just not good with software. I've never touched this Ignitron. I just know it's the bollocks. And I could just go home and do this, but on the off chance that it's not going to be too bad to do, I have literally laid a spare bit of carpet on the ground in the workshop. Got some more Red Bull. Got my phone so I can just play random YouTube shit while I'm trying. And now I'm going to download the software, which is just here on the website. There we go. Really like this laptop, by the way. It's Microsoft Surface or something. No, I can't remember. I bought it for £140 from a place that fixes laptops. When my £900 1-year-old one broke, this 140 quid, and it's fucking better than my old one for 900 quid. It's so nice to use. I really like, and it's small and it's light and it's touch. It's everything. 140 fucking quid. It's mint, honestly. I'm never spending. My last laptop was 1 year and 1 week old, so 1 week out of its fucking warranty, and it died. And although it was the bollocks, it was really good. It cost me 900 fucking quid, and like it turns out, a lot of modern laptops these days, there's no spare parts to fix them. And so if the motherboard dies, like this one did, you cannot, nobody, no cunt at all, can get the parts to fix it. So anyway, let's install this Ignitron, whatever the hell it is. Yes. Ignitron setup wizard. Yes, accept the agreement. Nobody ever reads that stuff. Needs 7.5 meg of disk space. Install USB driver. Install desktop item. Yeah. Install. Welcome to installation wizard. Ready to use. Finish. Oh, this is the new version that came out just, well, not just, new Nemesis firmware come out the 7th this month. It's got loads of fancy stuff. Base map wizard is supposedly the one. Don't know where I can read this, but this is the base map wizard, which will make you a base map, which is a fucking winner. So you've got basic inputs and outputs mapping for what engine code. So you've got your engine codes, and they're literally all there, which is nice. Would you like to use a MAF sensor? Yes or no? If yes, which one? And what diameter housing? Where is the map sensor? Throttle body size. Part number of the map sensor. I think mine's that one, which is nice. Size of the injectors. I know that. Massive. Part number of the injectors, if possible. None of them. Fuel would you like to use? Gasoline, low or high octane, ethanol, E85. advanced map for a turbo engine, NOx sensor sensitive. Would you like to use VVT? Well, yeah, I've got it. Turbocharger control is for big turbo. Launch control anti-lag will be, disabled for now. This is only a base map. Fucking as much as I would like to press that. Not yet, not yet. Bypass solenoid, hell no. Evap, hell no. Oxygen sensor, yeah, 4.2 is the standard one. Specify the gearbox, so it'd be, I think this is a Leon Cupra R1, I think. About the same anyway. Throttle response, comfortable or sporty. This is only a base map, so I'm not fussed on this. Camshaft, profile, technically mine's sports. Although technically they're stock, but they're the same profile as what most would call the sport ones. Anyway, let me quickly do this, and it's going to create me a base map in literally a few seconds. Okay, so this is literally 2 minutes later, and I'm ready to, well, this is the base map wizard filled in. So, basic engine code, AUM. Would you like to use a MAF sensor? Nope. Where's the map sensor located? I've put it in the inlet manifold. Map sensor, 4 bar. Injector size, according to the ASNU, whatever it is, injector flow sheet, the 1330cc. Fuel you like to use, low octane gasoline. Timing map, turbo engine, NOx sensors sensitive, VVT, yeah. Turbo control, big turbo, anti-lag disabled for now, of course, for now. Bypass, solenoid, no. Evap, no. Oxygen sensor, 4.2. Cupra R. Gearbox, throttle response, comfortable. I may as well say sports camshafts, because, well, may as well, they are. So, let's see what happens. Right, so that is ECU in its bag. That is the USB to ECU fancy connector. This is the getting started. Blah de blah blah. Sounds relatively simple. Yeah, I think I can do this. I just noticed something when finally took this thing out of the packet and to install the cable. The fucking case is billet. It's literally billet aluminium. That's mental. It looks like a stock 180 ECU when you look at it, on the face of it. But the actual case is billet aluminium. Fucking hell, that's cool as fuck. Simple things please simple minds, maybe, but fucking hell. Billet, look, machine billet. Right, so ECU is connected. Ignition's on. Wire USB here. Base map is loaded. It says go file and then write. Is that correct? Open it in the file menu. Yeah, I've done that. And then press write. Writing into the ECU. Oh, it can be enabled in the control unit menu. Oh, sorry. There. There. Okay. Right. Now it's writing 17, 20, 80, 90, 100. Okay, it's mapped. The base map is on the ECU. Final set of things I got to do is I had to go to throttle position and just set minimum and maximum. So I had to be off the throttle completely and then press set minimum, which I've done. And then I had to go full throttle and then click set max. I'm done. And then it says go to e-gas settings and then perform basic settings. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you listen in a second, I don't know if you can hear all the clicks. This is the electronic throttle body going through the motions, doing different things. The ECU's doing it to make sure it's all good. It says in progress. Ready. There you go. Done. Now, what does it say? Done that. Oh. Clear the fault codes dialog which can be found in the control unit menu. Okay, so yeah, where were we? Clear fault codes, I guess. Fault codes have been successfully cleared. Okay, easy. After successfully performing things, reset ECU. Check if throttle body are working properly. In the sensors stroke overview section, that's this one. Okay, so we've got all this stuff. So RPM, whatever that is, hall sensor, knock, battery, lambda, map, TPP, TPS, so 100. Okay, that seems right as far as I can tell. Coolant temp, blah blah blah. Says if all values are correct, try and start the engine. This is where it's scary because I'm fucking worried. You know what I mean? But okay. Shall we? There's no coolant in it, so I'm not going to run it for long, but... Okay. No start. Okay, I just thought of something. You know what's quite useful to enable a car to start? Like spark plugs and ignition coils. What a fucking idiot. They're still not even in. Oh, dickhead. They just say spark plugs are in. I can officially not be a retard now. I was wondering why I could smell fuel. It's like, well, the fuel pump's been running for ages, so why can I suddenly smell fuel? It's like, yeah, because the injectors are working now, but there's no plugs or coils. What a cabbage. Bearing in mind what this engine is. It's a bottom end with decent rods and stuff in that was rebuilt at some point and never been used since. I think it was built about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I bought it for £100. Honest to God, £100 bottom end. The head I've built up from a used NA one with NA cams, a bit of my own porting, Inconel exhaust valves and double valve springs. It's a fresh engine, and it's a sounds pretty like a sketchy as fuck engine too, but it's, if it works, it should run well. But yeah, obviously this is a base map that this ECU did for me by me just putting in the settings, and the car's never ran. I mean, and I've seen enough videos on the internet to know this never works, but hopefully it'll work within a few tries. So let's hit the button. Okay, it's actually started fucking instantly. 85 psi oil pressure. Okay, it seems to fucking run. Let's go and have a look if anything's leaking. Holy shit. Engine sounds healthy. No smoke, which is good. Bloody Nora, it runs. I can't run this for long because I've got no coolant in it. oil burning off, that's cool. Fuck me. Ignitron's amazing. I cannot believe, bear in mind this is on 1330cc injector, massive, and it runs like this from cold. Amazing. So yeah, this fucker runs. Well, it's the next day. The car's running, well, idling, just letting it get up to temperature. I've got coolant in it and all that. There's no leaks, no nothing. Engine seems fine, good oil pressure, all good. Had a weird problem earlier. There was alternator didn't seem to be charging. Trying to figure out why. Dickhead me hadn't actually connected the power wire to the alternator. I don't even mean the one that turns the alternator on, the little wire. I mean, that was connected. I forgot to connect the big wire to the alternator that charges everything. So, but now it's working fine. Just letting everything get up to temp. Oh, I connected the speed sensor, and it's correct. I was wondering why it's showing 3-4 kilometers an hour. Are actually moving slowly. It's out of gear, but that's just what happens. This is first full run up to temp. I got the water up to like 100 on purpose, let it get really hot. The oil went up to like 90 odd. Nothing. All seems fine. Yeah. Shit's still burning off the turbine blanket. I reckon the wastegate, weirdly, the seat, the valve seat and the valve, they're not completely sealed. Like, you can't hear anything and you can't feel anything until you put your finger like about 1 millimeter away, and then you can just feel something. How common that is out of a gate and how much that matters, because that is practically fucking zero, I don't know. So I need to find out, because I've never personally noticed that before. It only happens because the gate's there. I mean, here you couldn't feel it, here you couldn't feel it, but when you're real close you can. And a couple of drips of water have come out, you know, the usual exhaust moisture, so maybe I'll do something with that. It's not exactly the worst thing to access, it's only there, so it's not a big deal, but you know, I'll see if I'm wasting my time doing that first. I've had a day of playing with this car and battling it and whatever, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with what's been going on. Even though it's been trouble, I've been learning things to fix the trouble. Basically, this is the base map it made, and this is, you know, literally did a very, it asked for some very basic settings and it made me a base map. Me not doing anything apart from giving it some settings. Even injector wise, all it did was ask for the the CC. It didn't ask for dead times, nothing. And as you saw, started up perfect. It's like fucking holy shit. And it was yeah, even AFRs very good, like lambda 1 or less at idle, but it had some problems. First, it didn't want to rev. You try and rev it and it would just die. And also, and I don't know why for this one exactly, but sometimes it just wouldn't start. Well, it would start and then cut out instantly. And sometimes it would start, you could kind of tell if it would catch the idle, you know, that catch that first bit, it would carry on running. But sometimes it just wouldn't, and it was really annoying. So I messaged Alex at Badger 5 because he's a mate, and I told him basically what the crack was, and he said, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not unlikely to be a problem. It's probably just the map's miles out. So he said, make a log. He said, make a log and send it me and all that stuff. So I did. He said, also, what's the injector dead times? I was like, don't know. I goes, I didn't even ask because it didn't ask me to put them in. So he said, find out what the injector dead times are and put them in and see what that does. So I will show you something. This is the original base map. Where's injection? Dead times. Right, so this is the injector dead times it was showing. And I don't know how well you can see, but like 14 volts, so roughly where the car is going to be when running. 0.598 milliseconds, that is. And I asked Lee Connor, my friend with the world's fastest Lotus, who I got the injectors from because he used to run them, but he's got even bigger now. I asked him what the dead times were, and he said they are about 1.3 at that level. So it's like, this shit's miles out. And one thing I noticed with this setup, the fuel compensation, which it does on, you know, because it runs off, because it's got the lambda sensor, the ECU can compensate for the, you know, things being wrong. And it was running at full 25% compensation, and it was still at lambda like 1.1, 1.2, even though the target is lambda 1. So basically it just could not richen it up enough. So I thought, well, it's quite possibly these dead times being wrong. So I changed it to this map, which is exactly the same. All I did was dead time, put the dead time at 14 volts to about 1.3, and then a guess for the rest of it. That matters, it doesn't have to be spot on, and obviously at 8 and 9 volts and all that, it matters even less because it's less likely to, you know, go down to that kind of voltage. And suddenly, literally just by doing that, the car ran and revved, no problem. First, you know, revved fine on the throttle and all that, perfect. But then it was rich as fuck. It was the compensation was now showing 25% the other way, and it was still way richer than target. And I was speaking to Lee at the time, and I messaged him and said, oh, you know, putting in the dead times you told me has made it run and whatever perfect, you know, fine run and rev now, but now it's super rich. He's like, well, show me your fuel table. And on this, where the fuel table is volumetric efficiency. And again, this is the base map, you know, nothing I touched. And it's, as you might be able to see there, it's literally like 100 nearly everywhere, going up to 110 at the highest load points. And if you know anything about engines, 100 at low load points is fucking hopeful, to say the least. Like Lee said to me, he said closed throttle, he said it's like 45% maximum, and like the bigger cams you got, the lower percent that's going to be. And obviously as you're on boost and whatever and revs rise, yeah, you can go to like 100% and whatever, but even 110 is like, you know, maybe not. But yeah, this is like double what it should be. So, you know, literally just to check, did the whole lot and just put them to 50, which I will show you now. File, this one, VE. I literally dropped it all to 50 because literally all I wanted to do is see if that was a problem and see if it would then, you know, the fueling be right. And as soon as I did that, it fucking idled at lambda 1, no problem at all, with very little correction as well, literally like 2-3%. But then this wasn't right for revving, so it didn't like to rev as easily. But yeah, this took minutes, and it just took a little bit of understanding of what does what, and some people who understand how to map to explain little things to me. And yeah, it's fucking brilliant. Like, just the ability to just sort your shit out yourself is, you know, because the thing is, right, it takes literally a millisecond. You can change it on the fly and then literally click right and change it. And it, you know, 2 seconds it writes a new map and you'll see the difference. So all you really need to do is make sure you save a new map every time you change something. So then if it's changed for the worst, you fucking go back to the old one. So yeah, this is really good. I got a lot to learn, and I'm not going to map it myself anyway. It's literally going to go Badger 5, but I just want it to run and drive a bit. So, you know, we're getting there. Good times. Well, I've been here 12 hours now, and I was going to give up about an hour or so ago because I've done plenty today and, you know, running out of stuff. Then I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's really push and do as much as I can today. So I wrapped the exhaust. So I've not done the tailpipe section because, well, A, I ran out of wrap at exactly that moment, and B, probably don't need it. I see, but that's the point where there's not really, you know, all the hot shits where it's close to stuff is, you know, not there. It's because of the boost pipe fairly near, the wastegate pipe, you know, the breather pipe, blah blah blah. It's actually about, it's sort of double or triple wrapped around where the wastegate pipe is, just to be sure, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's done. Relatively neat, relatively. It's got a cable tie on that end because I ran out of fucking wire ties. Get some more of them and finish that another day. But yeah, it's pretty good. Of all the things that could have been wrong, none of them seem to have happened. You know, it could have had no oil pressure, it could have been knocking or smoking or whatever, but no, it's not even really got any leaks. It's got fuck all. It's, you know, I'm always paranoid as fuck. I said this, people are like, oh, you look, you know, you're excited about getting it ready. It's like, no, I'm shitting myself until it's ready, until I know it's okay. And now I say I know it's okay, but, you know, until it's mapped and done, I'm not going to be super fucking excited. But in reality, I'm not the kind of person who thinks shit's great that I do until I can prove it. And it's the same with this. While yeah, I should know by now, I know what I'm doing with fucking cars, I was still paranoid that I've done it all wrong and it wasn't going to work. In fact, it's worked brilliant. So I should have more confidence in myself. But I suppose it's better to be modest than fucking super cocky and make a right fucking mess of things. So, you know, but yeah, it's gone better than could have been expected. And even the running problems I had, fixed them. I need to learn more and more about how to do this, because although I'm not going to map it myself, I don't feel that confident in it at all. I'd like to one day, but no, not yet. It would be great if I can get it perfectly drivable so I can just drive it to mapping, you know, save them half a job. So yeah, anyway, hope you've liked this video. It's been a long time coming, this car running with a new engine. When did I blow up the last one? A few months ago. But yeah, new engine, pretty mental, and be driving soon. So yeah, as ever, cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the usual stuff. Show all your friends this mental car. And if anyone wants to get on board with my Patreon, please do, because, you know, this don't earn me any money, and this sure as fuck costs me loads of money. So, I will see you next time. Ta-ra.